And welcome to Book Marketing Academy Pro Academy. We start again. Book Marketing Pro Academy live training. And today we're going to talk a little bit about partnerships. So if you are watching with me today and here, please say hello in the chat. And if you have any questions as we're walking through this particular session, just go ahead and place those questions in the chat and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. So when we are talking about partnership, we talk a lot about collaboration, and collaboration is so crucial. And we've actually done quite a few trainings on all the ways that we can collaborate. And so today I'm going to focus on how you would actually take the steps to do that collaboration. And so hopefully this will help you a little bit. And then when I do my live coaching next week with Rob Robinson, who has a new book coming out, we will kind of walk through some of these steps in his specific circumstance where he is in the audience that he needs to reach. So hello, Faith and Anne. Good to see you both. All right. So the first thing that we want to think through is really trying to identify who are the types of organizations that you could partner with. So these are really what I was thinking as I was planning this session is strategic partnerships in your community. I am a huge advocate that it's great to get things out on social media. It's great to get things with the wide reach and collaborating with people. And I have that as part of what we can talk about in a later date. But today I really wanted to identify how do we have strategic partnerships with those people that are right in the community where we live in. And so I'm going to give you, like I said, some very strategic steps of partnering with these local organizations. And hopefully I've divided it into some manageable sections. And then when we do a coaching time together, we'll brainstorm with each other how this will actually look for you. So the first thing that we need to do is really to identify the right local organizations that fit who your book is, the theme of your book, who the audience is, and who would really appreciate your message. So here are some examples of what that is. So obviously, schools and libraries, great for children's books, educational content, and libraries. Really, almost any book that we publish could go into a library. Then nonprofits. Can you think of someone who really is aligned with your book's message? What is the message of your book? Is it legacy? Is it grief? Is it just a fun read? Is it a faith story? Who is it that could come alongside you as a nonprofit, not for profit, my husband would say, not nonprofit. And then we have public service organizations. So perhaps your book involves a story of heroism or legacy. How could it work within the public service industry of, anything from like the recreation organizations? Here in Arizona, we have, obviously Parks and Rec. There's all kinds of places for people to get involved that way. There's also your fire, your police, any of those types of public service organizations. There's also places where there is, at least here, they have like kind of community centers where they do all kinds of activities. They have classes for kids, for adults. So thinking through like, where are those public service organizations that you could partner with right in your own community? And of course, always local bookstores, coffee shops, independent stores, boutiques, places that you could go and partner with them to bring an audience into their store, which helps them bringing in customers as well as their customers being able to connect with you. Cultural centers, museums, places that have some kind of interaction, maybe your local zoo or botanical gardens, any of those types of places that people gather just for kind of an entertainment or enjoyment. Let's see. Also, some of the obvious things that we've talked about before are, of course, our churches and the ministries that our books serve, healthcare places, hospice, funeral homes, prison ministries. Really think outside of the box. What are the organizations that you could, really dive into and connect with, that you could bring value to them through the story of your book or the message of your book? And then you want to look for active groups and groups that are engaged. So really the characteristics would be, are they actively involved in the community? Do they publicize and advertise and have events? Do they have fundraisers? Do they offer programs for your community? Do they have a broad base of followers or members? So not just our churches, but how do people in our community end up connecting? Here in Arizona, it's really big to have retirement communities, and they have huge clubhouses where all kinds of things go on, and there are ways to connect with them and the services that, the message that you have that could encourage their people. Then how do you find them? Well, obviously you can just type into Google Maps and see what places are local to you. You can go onto social media groups and see what's happening in Arizona or what's happening in Canada or wherever it is you live, Washington State, and be able to just, community centers in Washington, community centers in activities, what's going on this weekend. Look at calendars of what's happening in your community and see what types of events you could partner with and connect with those people to form that strategic partnership. And then ask in your network, ask for referrals, contact your local chamber of commerce and see if they have any suggestions for you. Small town communities, it might benefit you if you live in a big city, like we live in kind of a big city, to go to a smaller city and start there that are more the outskirts of the big main city to see how we can really provide smaller communities support, which then gives us the credibility to then go into perhaps a larger city community. So that's how you kind of look for what kind of partnership locally could I be a part of. And then you need to craft your outreach strategy, and you want to personalize this to the specific mission of the organization that you are targeting. Really with everything that we do, from when we're pitching a podcast or reaching out in a specific group, we want to make sure that our messaging actually fits the need that they have. And so, we can have a base that we start with, but then how can we tweak it that will really address the right person at the right place? So some of the things that you need to think of is, who is that right person? Who is the person that I need to actually contact and communicate with in order to start this partnership or community outreach? So event coordinators, program directors, and sometimes that takes obviously a little bit of research, but it will benefit you if you are actually speaking to the right person. And typically on websites, you would see like who's the coordinator of that particular event or that particular program, and you'll be able to reach out to them. Make sure that as you're reaching out to them that you mention shared values. So do your research and find out like what's the purpose of their organization? What do they really strive to do? What's their mission? And does my mission, can that mission come alongside them and really bring them value to their people? If you can mention their mission within your statement or something that they are doing, that will really help give you some credibility that you actually know what you're talking about and you're partnering with them, not just as a random group that you're sending it out to everyone, but you specifically targeted this particular organization. And then offer value, of course. Present how your book can contribute to their work, to their mission, give it educational value, community building, inspirational storytelling, hope, whatever it is your book is promoting, how can that reach the people that they are trying to reach on their mission? Then offer a win-win scenario. So make sure that they see value in partnering with you, because why would they take the time to bring you in if they really can't get anything out of it? Because they also are trying to build their audience and their community. So, a lot of things you can do are pretty basic, hosting a book signing event, which will bring people in, having a reading session, maybe doing a 20-minute talk or 10-minute talk on a topic that fits their mission during that signing that they could advertise. You could donate books to them just so they have them on hand. You could collaborate on an event if you see something that they are doing that is a great place that would have your audience as well. Partner with them. And then you could follow it up with some kind of like a Q&A or something that would really help their members engage with you. And then provide value. So if your book has an educational or motivational aspect, you could offer workshops that aligns again with their goals so that you are reaching their audience. But in turn, you are now building your audience as well. When you reach out to them, be clear about what you're asking for or asking them to do. So if you are saying, I'm going to donate some books, make sure you are clear, like, I'm going to donate 3 books to your library at this retirement center. And you can use them in your library. You can use them to give away, just let them know that they're there for their usage. Event hosting, making sure that you ask the host, is this okay to do at the event? If you have specific things that you would like to promote or things that you would like to sell other than your book, making sure that you have clarity on everything that you're doing, even price points. And then how am I going to do the sales? Is it going to go through your organization or is it going to go through my own personal? How can it benefit you? Maybe you give a kickback of 20% per book, or you come up with some strategy so that they also get value out of it. And then encourage cross promotion. So they promote to their people on newsletters and social media, and you do the same for yours. That's a huge that makes a huge difference. And even give them the opportunity, like, I'll create some graphics for us and some verbiage and we can send it out. Maybe there's other people involved in the event and you include those people as well, and really come alongside as a partner, helping them to promote their event to their audience. Once you have that, those events and the connections made, those partnerships, really make it easy for them to say yes. So be flexible as you are scheduling with your date and your time so that you can fit into, their routine as well. Make sure that you have the materials that you need. Give them the collateral items about you. So your book cover, if you've made an event flyer, any kind of relevant promotional materials that you can share, maybe something that they can send out ahead of time that connects their readers to you. Maybe your lead magnet would be a great opportunity for them to give their followers a bonus, their audience, and then that would also connect them to you. And just being flexible with your availability, allowing them to know, like, here's when I'm available, and being able to be obviously available when they need you, but then, we're all busy people. So making sure that those expectations are clear for how long you could stay at the event and when you could actually do it, whatever the partnership looks like. And then keep in touch. Even after your initial outreach, continue to engage with the organization. We don't want to just be a user. We want to be someone who brings value to the people that we are asking to come alongside us and partner with our book. So you can attend their events. I often think of speaking at different events or retreats, or even conferences. And I always try to attend the conference if I can, if there's any way I can, attend their conference or their event first before I start asking or before I become engaged. So for example, the church down the street, when I wanted to go teach my Bible study there, and I had some conversation before this, but I actually went to their women's Christmas party that happened a month before I started teaching, because that way they saw that I wasn't just in it for me, but I was in it to support them and the ministry, and that I was more passionate about the gospel and the ministry that they had than just about me coming to teach my book. So attend things that they are doing so that they see that you are finding value in what they do. Share updates, keep them informed about your book launch, about any milestones that you perhaps are reaching that they could perhaps come alongside you. And then if your book launch goes well, when you are there, collaborate with other ideas and think through, how else can I help this organization or partner with them to continue bringing a message of hope to their people. When you go to the event, there are a few things that you always want to do. And that is, number one, arrive early. Make sure you're there on time to be able to set up and be all ready to go by the time they start whatever it is they're doing. If it is an event, if it is not an event and you are partnering with them, just kind of in more providing them value, make sure that you're available, that you give them your cell phone number so that they can contact you if they have any questions. So making sure that you are available and accessible, providing them with all the materials that they need so that they can do adequate promotion. And if you are at an in-person event, really engaging with the attendees, not just the ones coming to your table, but also as you have opportunity and you're there early, mingling, talking to the people that are on site, both that perhaps are working the event as well as those who are attending the event, and just being very engaging. The more they see you out there with their people, the more they will invite you to come back when something else happens. And then finally, when the partnership is maybe concluded in this particular time and you know you're going to want to move forward with them, or even if it was a one-time event, always follow up with a thank you email or a thank you note that's personally written to let them know your experience at their event and how appreciative you are of their partnership. You can do this publicly as well on your social media, in your newsletters, letting other people know of this organization and how they came alongside you. And then even sending a small gift so that they can just really see your appreciation, and they will have a better kind of connection to you through how you engage even after the event or after the partnership has concluded. So those are just a few things that hopefully will help you kind of think through who are those strategic partnerships that I could make in my community. And then as we go into a coaching session, we can talk through and brainstorm those together, and perhaps even come up with some things like, what do we need? What kinds of templates would we need? Meaning like letters and graphics and things that we could put together as a group to help each other out in that. So that is strategic partnerships. And if you have any questions, you can put them in our Facebook group, and I'd be happy to answer those for you. Or if you have any suggestions, or maybe just even coming up with your own strategic partnerships and saying, I think I'm going to reach out to this group, and then just we'll be praying that God will open those doors. But it'll just be a lot of fun to see what God does with our strategic partnerships in our community. As we launch our book, or for those of you who have lots of books out, you don't have to be launching a book to do this. You can do it with the books you currently have. So, and I'm also thinking through some other things that we will be able to do together in a very strategic way so that we stay on course as our books are getting ready to be launched. Or again, if you already have one launched, how do I re-engage my reader? So that's all I have for you today. I will, we will have a coaching coming up soon. I think there's actually a live one-on-one coaching coming up that will discuss some of these to a particular author, and maybe you'll get some ideas from that conversation as well. So thank you, Anne, Faith, and Liz, for joining me. And I love that you have some ideas, Anne, of who you're going to connect with, because that will be your book is coming out soon, and I cannot wait to see what God's going to do with the message that you have. It's so, so important and will be such a blessing to so many. So thank you, and I will see you again very soon.